Okay, homies, can y'all hear me? What's good? Despite having 3 minutes of pre roll ads, I still didn't have time to eat because I got home late. But how's everybody doing? For those who are new, because you showed up from like events or collabs and whatnot, my name is Jayla Cephidae, and I'm a mutant jellyfish VTuber who likes to draw and talk smack about whatever I want. So today, we will be talking about new releases or upcoming releases and pretty much try to get through the day as I continue working on pass whips and a character sheet. So, in the meantime, let's get started. So, starting with this whip. So, who knows that I used to do YouTube, or I can't even say used to do YouTube because it was very infrequent and shit. Like, I guess what do you mean by used to do YouTube, right? If you only post once every several months. And then this past one was like, what, 3 years ago? That's how long it's been. But essentially, actually, let me show the sub view. Es- Essentially, there was a time when I wanted to be just a regular YouTuber and use a talk sprite or a rant sona to talk about different topics and then do speed paints as I would talk about them. Think of art commentary channels, but instead of like talking about internet drama and exposing pedophiles and shit, I would just yap about my favorite media, like my favorite shows, and do media analysis as I drew a picture to go with that. And when I was trying to do YouTube regularly, I was doing this thing called the Ruby Redesign series, which is where I would draw the firm the four main characters from Ruby. I'm trying to find a reference. I need to clean out my references in my sub view. I have like over 300 and something pictures in this shit because I don't be deleting my references after I finish using them. And to be honest, part of the reason is because I don't be finishing my projects, which comes to this problem, right? Um My Ruby redesign series was pretty good. I managed to do Ruby and Weiss like back to back each month. Okay, there it is. Managed to do Ruby and Weiss like back to back with the 2 months. And then it took a couple of months for me to get to Blake and stuff because life happened. And then I just stopped and I didn't draw Yang. And Yang just didn't happen for like eons, which is bad, right? We cry. But apparently Ruby has made a comeback or it's going to make a comeback. Like they're finally going to try to finish the series because I think it got bought out by a studio. And for those who don't know, like Ruby has been in hell for like eons. So what a relief that is. And I'm just like, you know what? If Ruby can finish or attempt to excuse me. If Ruby can finish or attempt to finish, then maybe I should try to finish my damn Ruby redesign series. Because here's my thing. I really want to I really want to finish this because this was like a very formative chapter in my life. That was when I first started getting or at least trying to be serious as a content creator. And I ended up switching to VTubing a little bit later because I like the interactive aspect of it. And I thought that it was a cool way to interact with fans, but then that ended up becoming my sole focus because like taking the time to like do these well thought out videos with like analysis and shit was stressing me out, and streaming felt lower stakes because I yap as easily as I breathe, so it allowed more for improv and whatnot. But like the whole point of VTubing when I first got into it was like treating it as a meet and greet with fans and making it a way to show viewers my process and stuff. And I sort of lost sight of that because like I wasn't making long-term content with my stuff. So it's just like how the hell can I meet fans if I don't like make them? And even though I got y'all, like most of y'all mainly know me from like Twitter rants and some of my artwork, right? Like art hasn't really been the main focus of my content. So what I hope to do is try to find balance and try to find balance so I can be a creator that I'm like proud to be, because I know that a lot of people are proud of me and that they support me and my work ethic, but I know that there's room for improvement, and I should like maybe try to stay on task with my vision if that makes any sense. So like this is the start of that. How I'm finally working towards finishing my Ruby redesign series by drawing Yang. And part of the reason why it took so long with Yang was because of the shift in focus with my content, but also because Yang is like really difficult for me to draw. Um, for those who are like aware of my work as an illustrator, I have certain aesthetic preferences when it comes to the kind of characters that I draw. Like I love drawing powerful curvy ladies, and that's what Yang is. Yang was literally my favorite character, and it was partially because of that, because I like that she had a sunny personality and that she could throw hands directly compared to the other girls who channeled their powers through weapons and whatnot. But it's also but like she's difficult because her aesthetic clothing wise is different from what I'm used to. Like I like dresses and modified casual wear, and I tend to gravitate towards cool colors, and if I do warm colors, it's usually reds. So that's why ruby and whites were so easy for me to draw when I first got started with this. But when I got to Yang, her color scheme and her sort of semi rugged pilot aesthetic is like the antithesis of what I usually draw. So like trying to come up with a look for her was really difficult, even if like knew the context of why she was into what she was wearing and all this other kind of stuff. So like it took forever for me to come up with sketches for her design. It took a long time for me to like brainstorm something that'll feel like it'll fit Yang. And like I'll write this in the commentary as well when I make the script. for this video. But like it took a while for me to like brainstorm something that both fit my aesthetics as an illustrator while also fitting her character as like a person, you know? Cuz like I kind of one thing that I dislike about character redesigns is how people completely overhaul something and don't consider maybe the original vision of the show. Like it wouldn't necessarily be bad if people would like admit that they're not necessarily that they're rewriting the series while also doing the character redesign. Because if it feels out of character, then it's no longer a character redesign. You're doing a rewrite on top of that. And I feel like that's fine as long as you're like honest about it, if that makes any sense. But how's everybody doing? I kind of started off strong. I didn't really give any time to like talk or anything. That's only if you feel like talking, honestly. I know a lot of people come into my streams to like chill out and just hear me yap, which I appreciate because I love to yap. I yap as easily as I breathe. I like how I've sort of gotten better at drawing hair now. Sorta. Emphasis on sorta. Emphasis on sorta, because straight hair is still hard for me. It's weird because like I'm really good at drawing protective hairstyles and braids. Like even before I got those hairbrushes by Vigalia, it was still relatively easy to me because like if I wanted to draw a fro, I could just um I can literally just what was I thinking? I can literally just draw a shape and then put bumps on it and call it a day if I felt like it. Okay, I'm gonna shift this bang and like see how quickly I'm getting this done. Like I'm actually doing well with this. But maybe it's because I'm like copying a thing directly, right? But still, I don't think I used to struggle a lot with straight hair, and I even tried to cheese it with like brushes. But like you still have to understand how straight hair works in order to use the brushes, so it like defeated the purpose. So there was like a lot of frustration with that, and sometimes there still is. Like with me, the reason why I struggle with straight hair is because it's hard to break it down because if you start using too many lines, then it starts looking like chicken scratch or something akin to it. So yeah. And then honestly, I'm just glad that Ruby is ending because the idea that it wasn't like going to finish and that Monty Oom's dream was that actually who knows about Ruby? For those who aren't like aware of Ruby, it's it started off as an indie animation series by a fight animator named Monty Oom, and he was most known for um his like crossover animation with like girls from Final Fantasy, and I can't remember the other franchise because I got into Monty's work through Ruby. I wasn't there from like the beginning, unfortunately. But maybe that's for the best because I feel like the folks that found out that were like with Monty from the beginning, they were like more devastated and shit. But Ruby was the series by Rooster Teeth, and it was pretty much girls with guns, and they would fight these big monsters. But the plot was like they were going to this school to learn how to become huntresses, which are the superpowered beings who would protect the general public from these monsters called Grimm. And the reason why they're called Grimm is because everybody is named after like a famous fairy tale or legend and stuff. And Team Ruby, which is RWBY, was the theme of the team was like famous heroines in fairy tales. So you have Ruby Rose, who's based off of Red Riding Hood, and White who puts the snow in Snow White. You got Blake Belladonna, who's like supposed to be Beauty and the Beast, and Yang Xiaolong, who's Ruby's older sister, and she's pretty much Goldilocks. And it was a fun show. It ended up becoming big through this animated short, through the animated trailers. Started with Red Like Roses or something, which was, or the Red trailer, which featured the song Red Like Roses. And the songs are like written by a daddy daughter duo, Jeff and Casey Williams. And it was like a big jam and shit. And even though like some of the writing was wonky here and there, people loved it because excuse me, it was something that was made for anime lovers, and it was like hella accessible because it was online, and Monty Ohm had already developed a cult following through his animation skills, and it was also something that like had people in fandom and shit in mind. And even though fandom is shit, I can't stand fandom culture for a multitude of reasons. The main one being that it's very anti-art, and there's like there's like a lot of disgusting behaviors that are normalized in fandom, and I just wish um that shit would stop because it's nasty at times. And I'll get into that in a moment when it comes to Ruby in particular. But what was nice about like the fandom consideration, for example, one of the most things iconic about Ruby was the character design, right? Because it was very simple, partially because the studio didn't really have much of a budget to begin with. So like they had to make the designs really simple to mitigate that for like software stuff and to help the staff with crunch and shit. Well, they didn't have crunch. This is before crunch was a problem and whatnot. But also they had cosplayers in mind because, you know, cosplay is a very fun activity, but it's also expensive if you want to like make it accurate, especially with how complicated these designs can get. Like for example, excuse me. For example, Love in Deep Space is trending right now for several reasons. Because there's this character that just recently got banned or that recently got canceled and shit. And I'm not going to get into that right now. But there's been discourse about the way that certain cosplayers have been treated, not the official ones that are like being paid to be there. Because there's like this whole thing with booths and how like for those who don't know, at Anime Expo specifically, right? There's a booth where fans of Love and Deep Space can like go and take pictures with professional cosplayers. But like the non-professional cosplayers are like being treated weird and stuff like I didn't come here for you, or how they're being called lackluster because they're not as professional looking as the guys who are literally paid to be there, which I think is like lame as shit, right? And that's where like some of that nasty fandom behavior comes in. But it's not like exclusive to Love and Deep Space. This is like a general problem. And I think people need to grow the fuck up. And somebody's just like, oh, it's just you kids because we used to have fandom etiquette. And I'm like, y'all had to be told that cosplay doesn't equal consent. Actually, let's get into that topic for a minute. Don't you hate it when older people, particularly like millennials and older, want to act like they're hot shit when it comes to fandom and fandom culture and stuff? And yes, fandom does have a culture because whenever there's a group of people with a similar interest hanging out in the spot and they do it for a long time, then like traditions and behaviors become like a regular thing, right? That's pretty much what culture is. It's like general practices and patterns amongst a group of people that be hanging with each other on a regular basis. Like your family can have a culture, right? But what be pissing me off is when older people in fandom talk about how, oh, these youngins don't know how to act, or fandom is so hostile right now when it has always been. Like if you don't think, like if you genuinely think that fandom started to become shit or like really rude and belligerent post COVID, then I don't think that you were in the trenches, or I don't think that you were an active fandom participant as you said you were. Because I was in 8th grade when cons had to start putting disclaimers and signs up saying cosplay doesn't equal consent because it was normal to sexually harass cosplayers and shit. Like y'all haven't been knowing how to act. So what does age and COVID have to do with anything? Like it gets on my nerves whenever fandomites be like, "Oh my god, the normies have invaded fandom spaces and stuff, and now everything, nothing is safe for the weirdos and shit." And it's just like nothing should be safe for the weirdos. Like I don't think that weirdos deserve to have a safe space because y'all be doing your weirdness to other people. Y'all be rude and belligerent to real people. Like keep your hands to yourself and put on some deodorant, nigga. I don't know. Where deodorant? And speaking of which, with the keeping your hands to yourself and wearing deodorant, why is there discourse? So while women are like hunching on these cosplayers at the Love and Deep Space meet and greets, there was also a speed dating event at Anime Expo, and apparently there were barely any women who showed up. It was just sweaty dudes. And now there's discourse on social media about it because it's just like, wow, these women would rather go to the cosplayers than actually be with a real man. And I'm like, yeah. And this isn't to shit on all men, right? Because sometimes I do like to be hyperbolic and be like, yeah, men ain't shit and y'all deserve nothing and da 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 da. Because I like being hyperbolic and I like being mean sometimes. But regardless, a lot of y'all ain't. And the reputation that anime loving men have is just straight up ass. And I don't know how to fix that really. Like aside from y'all need to act better IRL so women aren't afraid to be around y'all. And you also need to wash your ass. And I'm gonna keep harking to wash your ass. Like, okay, at the convention near where I live, right? Oh my god, this looks so good. I ate that. We're gonna end this part of Yang right here, and then we're gonna shift. Actually, I'm gonna take some cough medicine. I'll be back. Give me like 2 minutes. Hey, sorry, I kept coughing because yeah, I kept coughing. But I'm trying to think. Um, what was I talking about again? It was something. It was something that I was saying. What was I saying, guys? Um. Oh yeah, at the convention that I would go to in my area, they would let people volunteer. So whenever I would be strapped for cash, but I still want to go to the convention and shit, I would just show all layers and then, bro, let me move the picture. Okay, something is wrong with this. Um, I'm trying to see how to move this damn thing along with the no, cancel. I'm trying to see how to do this so I can still move the item, right? And it's not allowing me, and I don't know why. Okay. Oh, so now it wants to move the fucking. Oh my god. Is that what happened? Let's see if it'll move now. Okay, now it fucking moves. Okay. Clip Steel Paint be stressing me the hell out. Because sometimes it be doing shit that I didn't ask it to. And I'm like, girl, why? Why did you do that? Who asked? So now I gotta see that everything's perfectly aligned. Okay, thank God. Um, but yeah, whenever I was strapped for cash and I still wanted to like go to the event, I would just volunteer. And they have it for like if you volunteer for a day, do you get like a free autograph and a free picture and shit. So I was like, yay, you know? And it was a fun experience because I've met Kaji Tang. I've met who else? I can't count. I can count like maybe on one hand how many people that I met, but I can't think about them at the top of my head because I'm too busy telling the story. The thing that the thing that's really stood out to me with that experience was how people would be stanking that early in the morning. And it's just like, how early was it? When I would volunteer, it would be like at the beginning, like before stuff opens. So it's like 7 o'clock in the morning when the event starts. And I would just be so pissed off because it would open at like 7:30 and it would be both guests and volunteers that come in there smelling like that. And I'm just like, why the fuck do you smell like I can't even say smell like outside cuz outside has a distinctive smell, right? You smell like grass when you're outside and shit. There would be people that be smelling like rotten ass when they come in. And that shit would just baffle me. Because how the fuck do you not smell yourself right now? It's 7:30 in the morning and you smell like yesterday with no wipes. And it's just the fact that like you're meeting celebrities and shit. You're meeting celebrities and you should care about smelling decent even if you weren't meeting somebody famous. I wash my ass for me, not because there's a possibility that I'll meet somebody cool and shit cuz fuck them. I smell nice for me because I don't like to smell like ass. I like smelling good, actually. I care about myself. and I also care about others. And, you know, hey Siren, welcome to chatting. I'm talking about my experience with being a volunteer and how specifically volunteering at a convention and how some people be smelling like a can of bounce that ass when they really don't have to. No, because I would show up to the convention center at 7 o'clock, right, to volunteer because they would like get let you get a free pick or yeah, they would let you get a free pick or a free autograph and shit if you volunteered for like a couple of hours. And some of the volunteers would come in and just smell like yesterday with no wipes. I've never been to a con before, but not gonna lie, that sounds accurate. Yeah, like okay, but I don't think I've ever smelled anything that funky before at a con. And I've been going to conventions since I was in 8th grade. Because earlier I was talking about negative con experience or like negative parts of nerd culture and how how there are some people who are like, oh my god, the normies are getting into nerd culture and they're ruining the culture and shit. And I'm like, the culture was never good to begin with. Like seeing millennials talk about how Gen Z is ruining fandom culture and all this other kind of shit when their grown asses had to be told that cosplay doesn't equal consent. I don't want to hear shit from a millennial about like fandom and stuff. Your ass 30 years old talking about how the Puritans are ruining your fandom experience when y'all were moving like aliens and predators, nigga. Like, no, grow up. But happier note. There were some positive con experiences. Like I remember what was it, the first convention that I went to? And I got to meet Ian Sinclair, who's like the voice of Nile Doc in Attack on Titan. And he's really kind. And like I remember meeting voice actors from Hitalia. Not gonna lie, back when I was in high school, con people, fandom people were moving like demons. Like I remember the pedo bear? How it was just normal for grown ass men to be wearing these stuffed suits and chase around little girls at conventions and shit. I don't want to hear a millennial say shit. Honestly, talking about how fandom culture is ruined because fandom belongs to the weirdos. Yeah, maybe the weirdos shouldn't have a place where they belong. I don't know. I don't even want to say bring back bullying because these folks got bullied in high school and then they grew up and made it their entire personality and now we all got to deal with it. We don't need to bring back bullying. Like bullying is so evil. It literally kills people. And then if it doesn't kill you, then you just grow up to become a problem. We don't need to bring back bullying. I don't know if I ever go to a con, I'd probably go with my cousin or if I'm selling my art there. Other than that, I don't know if I'd go. I'd go because you do meet kind people and stuff. A lot of folks have been mellowing out. And also it depends on where you go. Immersion break. I'm from Arkansas. And Arkansas cons are like basic as fuck. You just go there, you buy your shit, you say hi to niggas, and then you leave. You may do some photo shoots. There would be like dance group performances and stuff. And that's pretty much it. That's all you gotta deal with. Nigga, in Indiana they got cons. And I know. Like when I used to go to college in Indiana, they threw a miniature con at the college. So folks were like cosplaying there. You just need to look for stuff. You got more than what you think. And because it's Indiana, it'll definitely be more than what we got in Arkansas. Like, no, don't play with me. I'm always hella late. I'll see about this year though. Yay! I believe in you. And I hope you have a good time. There are some conventions that I want to go to though. Because even though the cons that I have in my state are good, they do a really good job at organizing things. It's not like high end, and there are some high end experiences that I want to go to. Like, have you been seeing? I'm always like, have you seen what's been going on with Love and Deep Space, and how they be having these meet and greets, and it's practically strip a stripper meet and greet because these dudes be picking these women up and shit. Like it's at a fucking bachelorette party, which is bananas. But you know what? I respect it. Get that bread, bro. Lads hurts me. In what way? Like I agree, but in what way? Because it hurts me too. But everybody got different experiences, you know. Did I delete the buckles? I deleted the fucking buckle. They took my man from him, even though I called him boring. Fair. No, I also thought that Valko was low key boring because like werewolves and vampires are the most pedestrian shit that you could have. And vampires are even more basic, like because they're so common. And the reason why they're like the most common monster depicted is because you really don't need like that much budget or special effects to do anything. Bro, please tell me. Okay, shit. I had to like go back a bunch of steps because I deleted something and I'm like, no. I don't interact with the fandom, but they low key chill as fuck. But lately it's been no, they are not low key chill as fuck. The fuck, the fandom is hell. It's actually no, the fandom is a coin flip, but they are definitely not chill as fuck. The fuck, um, because even before Valko, like for starters, we got 30-year-old losers talking about how they want their big bro to bend them over. And that will never be chill to me because I went to the anti school of hating on that Lannister shit. It's the fact that I still haven't seen you, Tina. Maybe it's because I like only follow artists. I mean, some of the artists be crazy too. Like, like it's been freaky. It's been unhinged and evil, even. And then when there was like that boycott that like that black players were doing because of like the bad lighting and shit, there was a cow with that. Like there was a full on race war going on. Like it'd be crazy. Every fandom got its problem, right? Now some got less problems than others. I will say that lads overall, getting into lads overall, at least from a fandom perspective, I got I got some conflicting feelings about the game with how they be taking advantage of people with these microtransactions and shit. But the fandom for the most part is decent. It's just I can't trust anybody with like an apple in their bio. Is when they first showed him, I was all for it. Then the brother stuff. To be honest, like the brother stuff was always there. Like as soon as he got, there is no when he got introduced and then the brother stuff because the moment he got introduced, the brother stuff was always there. Because my thing is like something that bothers me when it comes to conversations about Caleb is how people are like, it took him calling you baby sister for people to see the incestuous thing. But my thing is, we've been living in the same house with the same guardian since we were like 5 years old. Like we were kindergarten age, staying in the same house with the same guardian until like college. That's a that's a familial structure. It shouldn't have taken him saying like baby sister and shit for like anybody to get that. But maybe that's because of like my personal experiences because I grew up with like a lot of unconventional family units and stuff. I know a lot of people who adopt or folks who had to like stay with family because somebody died or somebody got sick and shit. So like whenever I see something like, oh, you've been growing up in the same house with somebody with the same folk with the same person like raising you, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's your sibling. Okay, so I did need to delete the buckle. Oh my god, I brought it back for nothing. So on Zane and Silas. Let's see. Me, I'm on Xavier and Silas and Valko. Because I actually like Valko. Like when his second trailer came out, I'm like, okay, I'll like you. Because I like how like goofy he was, and I like that we can beat him. We should be able to beat all the league because they be stressing us out, I swear to God. Like if Lads was really a feminist game, they should just let us beat all the men whenever we feel like it. So evil, but like, nah. Like, it's the fact that I didn't like Silas until I was able to beat him. Because let me tell you, hold on, I gotta turn on the light. It's getting dark in this house. It was getting dark. I had to get up and turn on the light in my room. It's storming, or it's about to storm, or do something. But now, let me tell you about how I couldn't stand the shit out of Silas when he first got released. Because he threw off the entire aesthetic of the main three. Like, the main three have these bright and pale colors, like pastels and shit. And then here comes Silas's big ass with his mafia criminal ass and the black and red, and it threw off the entire color scheme. And I'm like, this looks a hot fucking mess. Get the fuck out of here. And then here come the book talk niggas. He's just like, oh my god, Daddy Silas. I want him to tie me up and do some 50 Shades type shit. And it's so sad because I actually like BDSM. I just hate dark romance motherfuckers. Because they be advocating for abuse. And I'm like, I do not need my foot put in a bear trap to get off. I think I'm so like chill about this guy because I'm gay and I'm not attracted to these dudes like that. And I play my MC like she's her own character and not me. Yeah, that helps. But I'm gonna be so for real. There's some lesbians that be playing this game and they just imagine them as butches and then they act just as feral. So I don't know. I don't know. The sapphics be going hard for the strap. I don't know. If ooh, let's talk about some of the. So remember when I said that this fandom is crazy as fuck? This fandom is homophobic as fuck, and it sucks because I feel like Otome spaces really don't have to be homophobic because a lot of Otome fans are fucking Fujos, but then at the same time they're Fujos, so of course they're homophobic. I remember I hate how Fujo culture and Yaoi have like gotten PR. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, they hate that gay shit. Me, I'm picky when it comes to gay shit because like my thing is I don't like that whenever there are conversations about queer acceptance in otome spaces, it's always about whether or not gay men are allowed. Because otome means maiden and it's about centering women, right? So why the hell isn't a conversation about centering sapphics and trans women? Like why is queer acceptance based on whether or not a man can show up? As if like queerness is only defined through men. So spiteful. I low key start shipping the boys, but not gonna lie, they don't go together in my mind. Not to mention, yeah, the men are bi to me because I'm bi. You see my color scheme, right? But here's my thing. I'm not gonna ship the boys together. I'm gonna ship MC with the girls. Because why the fuck is gay acceptance defined through men? Like it actually gets on my nerves. Like nobody thought about trans women feeling acceptance. Like they got a period tracker and stuff. Why not add like a hormone tracker and whatnot? Because you know how Flow and other period apps they have it where you could like track your hormone intake and stuff, or get a reminder to be like, hey, put on your topical estrogen cream, or hey, take your injections. And if info was really about that life, they would have given us a B phonin. But no, I do not give a fuck about whether or not men feel like they belong in Otome spaces. I think that game, and that sounds mean, but like men in general have a don't want to be putting in work for like community building, because like even when it comes to queer spaces, right? Like I think about drag spaces and how drag spaces were built by trans women and stuff, despite the fact that like cis gay men are the face of drag. It was trans women who mostly built and facilitated these spaces. So like I low key don't give a fuck about how they feel about how stuff ain't catered to them. I think about Dream Daddy and how that was made by a gay man, but like the majority of the fandom was women. And maybe there needs to be like studies and stuff on why, cuz I know that when it comes to like media involving gay men, it's like range. Like, you know how in Japanese media specifically, there's bara, which is the stuff that's made by and for gay men. But then, even then, a lot of gay men in Japan still end up reading yaoi, even though it's made and marketed to women and has a lot of homophobic tropes. Because their problem with bara is that, oh, it's it's like hyper masculine, and it just reminds them of like toxic masculine standards that they can't fit. Whereas, like in yaoi, even though it has like a lot of harmful gay stereotypes because it's like written by women, you're more likely to see men get in touch with like their feelings and be soft and delicate. Even though the soft and delicate ones are usually depicted as like the woman in the relationship, it's some interesting shit, but also it's sad as fuck because it's just like, but women shouldn't be carrying all the fucking time when it comes to like community building, and also like you should not want women that usually don't even see men as people to like do that community building, particularly because like yaoi is like has a history of being really homophobic and shit. So like no, I really don't give a damn if gay men don't feel welcome in the girly space. I want the sapphics and the trans women to have something. I want a B phonin. A B phonin is like those really pretty girls that sort of look like beautiful dudes. Like how they be drawing femme Silas, honestly. I also want a girl that's shorter than MC. Hold on, let me ban this person. Okay. You know what's sad? It's like ever since Twitch fixed the algorithm and shit, I started getting more bots. Like I was not getting bots like that. Now I get bots every stream. I had key think if China didn't have such strict laws for gaming, we would have gotten some good queer stuff and it would be high quality because of info. I say it's half and half because there are games in China. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do to like bypass certain stuff. Because like people were even talking about like why isn't lads NSFW when there are NSFW Chinese games? They exist, but I don't know what. Like I feel like ooh, what info needs to do is do a PC build. Honestly, that's like I feel like that's the main problem. They want to do it on mobile because you don't have to like try as hard to win awards and attention and stuff because it's a mobile game. And I also think that you end up getting a wider spread audience because remember when Love and Deep Space was like for 14 up, even though it had no business doing that, and I feel like it's like really shitty because I feel like the only reason why they did that was to get kids data because like a lot of the shit in Love and Deep Space it is not safe for kids. Remember the Linger and Lust event that happened like literally just earlier in the spring when the men were at the hot springs and being whores? Like kids do not need to be around that. So it's just like kids shouldn't be downloading it, and I'm like they're marketing it for kids by marketing it as like 14 plus on the app store. The kids aren't invading; they're being invited to have their data stolen, or at least that's how I feel. Like I feel like that's why they're doing it, and also like kids have more free time, so they could do like free marketing and do fan works and shit, which is free clout and promotion. So that's less the company got to do. Because the thing is, I stopped trusting info with a lot of stuff. The moment that I found out that Love and Deep Space was made by the same folks who made the Nikki games, that's when I started being pessimistic because I used to really be into Love Nikki. That was before it became Infinity Nikki. And like I remember when Love Nikki used to have stats put on I remember when Love Nikki used to have stats attached to skin tone and how the darker skin tone was like the sexy stat and shit. So it was like really sad seeing a lot of black players being like, why don't they fix the lighting for the darker skinned ones? Or why don't they have more dark skin options? And then after finding out that they were the same ones who made Infinity Nikki, who used to have like issues with colorism and shit, and still low key do, it all started to make sense. I felt like Kronk, yes, it's all coming together. That shit was so frustrating though. Because there's no reason why there's only like three different shades of brown with a big ass gap. But there's like what, seven shades of pale? That's practically a slider. But then at the same time, folks still showed up anyway, so I guess it's on us. I haven't played this game in like a year though. Like I don't think I have played since what? I don't think I've played this game since Silas's birthday or something. Are you back? I forgot that the ad came on, so I was just ranting. I don't mind repeating myself. What the fuck did I give Zivia these hairy ass legs? It's the fact that this is my idea, but then once I put the boots on, it looks awkward as shit. I'm sorry. Um, Let me make a guide ruler. Pretty much what I was saying was that the reason why I think, well, I don't think that it would be too awkward for lads to be on PC because the Infinity Nikki game is available on PC because I think you could get it on Steam, right? But now I was talking about how some of the behavior with Infold isn't too surprising because um some of the behavior with Infold isn't too surprising because I used to play the Love Nikki games. Like Love Nikki was before Infinity Nikki, and it had a colorism problem because they would tie stats to skin tone. Like darker skin, I was there when darker skin used to have the sexy stat. Yeah, in Infinity Nikki, darker skin used to have the sexy stat. Colorist. And people are like, well, it's a Chinese game. And I'm like, that's not an excuse because this light exists. If they wanted to, they would. Like, Chinese people are different and they come in all shapes and sizes and shades and shit. And if a company wanted to go all out and recognize the spectrum of identity, then they would. Because Info be doing these damn collaborations and shit with scientists. And remember when Silas's recent birthday, how they did a collaboration with like a self defense group? Started playing when Silas came out because my friend convinced me I was gonna start playing. Then Zane said, "No, was it the backshot memory? Was it the backshot event?" No, cause dude, dude was getting it. I hated that outfit though. Like I hated whenever these damn gotcha games be playing into Orientalism. I blame. No, it was one of his basic memories. Okay, let's see. If I draw this boot first, if I draw this boot first. So let me fix the turtleneck because it's not even supposed to be going above the fur. The fur is supposed to be showing through a boob window. Pretty much, I'm sketching as much of the outfit that I can on stream. I'm gonna have to line work it, and that means taking off the modesty thing. Cause like last time I tried to draw without the modesty thing, it was a problem. Somebody reported me, or at least I felt like somebody reported me. Cause you usually don't get like strikes on this stuff unless somebody actually does it, and I'm like, who snitched? Who do I? Who needs to die? Actually, okay, then let me enter the damn name. Just mark your stream 18 plus. My thing was it was artistic nudity. I'm not drawing porn. It's a mannequin. And I don't even draw genitals. It was literally just a Ken doll It's just the nips. You know, I just realized how the fuck is Zivia's glasses. I'm not gonna think about that right now. Yeah, people are weird. But what was I thinking about again? Oh yeah, I think the reason why Info makes it a mobile game is the same reason why a lot of mobile game developers be doing that. Um like one, it's easier to get to compete for best gotcha or whatever when it comes to mobile games because they're not as, I guess, extensive as PC games, and they're not dealing with juggernauts like console companies. So it's easier to market. And then because phones are more accessible than a PC or a console, then it's easier for like a lot of people to get the game, and therefore you can make a lot of money that way. And then them not marketing it as like 18 plus because they have it for teens and up on the App Store. That's like a way for them to get teens and shit. And it's like, it's lame. Low-key, if I was talented enough, I just make my own Sapphic game. And then if that did well, I do a gay Otome game. Okay, so I found out. So there are different terms, right? Because Otome is no different from say shojo or shonen, how it's demographic categories. I'll find it. There's a word for, what's it called? What's the word? So it would be a Josemuke game. Like if it's starring dudes, then it's called Josemuke. I learned that today because what I said about like queer acceptance being based off of men instead of like queer making the space safe for queer women and stuff. And I said there's a lot of yaoi BL, but which is semi true. Like there's a lot of yaoi games that are marketed towards women, but you don't see like a lot of sapphic games marketed towards women. But it's not an Otome game if it features gay dudes because it has to have like a female pro tag or something. Like it can have gay dudes in it, but it's not considered Otome if it centers gay dudes. So it would be like a Jose Muke. So I'm learning something new. And then apparently like Amare is another term, which is like it doesn't matter what protagonists you have, like how you can have different genders and stuff. It's considered a Mare game. At least if it's like a dating sim and stuff. And then if it's not like focused on dating, then it's just a visual novel and it's whatever. Damn, I really gave Zivia these big ass boots. I hope they turn out well. I say as if I'm not drawing them, but like sometimes I'd be like, I don't know. But yeah, we learned something new and we smarter than the average bear. Thank you. Cause I'm drawing this character sheet for Zivia Nocturne because she's going through, and Zivia goes by Shide. So I'll be switching back and forth in sentences, right? She's going through a rebrand, so I'm making sure that like she'll be dripped out and stuff because we collaborated with each other. I'm procrastinating drawing right now. No, it's okay because I was also procrastinating drawing. Me, I have so many fucking ideas, and it's summer, right? So I'm just like, which ideas should I get caught up on? And like once I got to the part where I was actually free to do what I want, because like, okay, I work at a Black History Museum, so summer, so we got like a bunch of family reunions and shit. Okay, this is the actual boot. And Juneteenth happened, so that's huge. So I barely had time because I would just be eepy all the fucking time, and I was also stuck at the front desk, which didn't help. But it's whatever. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's this angle. Then what else? I gotta reposition these belts. I like that you use different colors. I'm too lazy for that. Me, it's not laziness. Me, it's more like visibility. Because like once I do line work, right? Because there's like overlapping parts. I don't want to. I don't want shit to get lost. For me, this isn't laziness. This is just a basic necessity to make sure that I don't fuck shit up. And like oftentimes I do use the same color as long as it's not like in the same spot. Yeah, Zivia and I we worked together on this design. Because I actually drew their first PNG model. Mm-hmm. Because like Zivia's my partner, and sometimes we draw stuff for each other. So okay, I'm just making sure that I got stuff in order. Sorry, I'm a bit locked in. So I'm like, am I getting the layers right? Is this fine? Does this look fine, guy? But I'm okay. I'm worried. God damn it. One, two, three. That's a slay. I love that. All my IRL friends do art So when it's holiday season, everyone is rushing. Yeah. I should consider doing gift art more often. Sometimes I do it. Just I kind of can't schedule to do it, if that makes sense. Um, so I'll turn off all of these layers so I can erase thoroughly. And then I'm reminded. Wait, actually, are you participating in an art fight or nah? Because of the procrastination thing. I've never participated in an art fight because, like, I didn't grow up in the sort of culture that art fight was forged. Pretty much, I didn't grow up on Tumblr, and even with Instagram, I was like posting into the void because I really wasn't getting any clout. So it's not like I could interact directly with artists like that because I was like struggling to be seen in the first place. Even though I would like comment and sometimes say hi. Trusted me the fuck out. Plus, I don't have OC for real. It'd be like that. I got a lot of OCs. I just gotta actually draw them. Like I suffer of that issue of having OCs, but only putting them in my head and not really talking about them. And that's low key bad because it's just like I can't be like nobody cares about my art or whatever and then not post my art, you know? And it's also like it's good to share things sometimes. But also like I like to draw for me, which but then I also want money, so I actually need to speak the fuck up. Okay, what's going on? Let me save. I'm gonna save because the shit froze for some reason. I don't like that. Okay. Save. But nah, okay, I'm off work. I gotta drive home. I got to go sadly. Be safe. Also, I hope you had a good shift. Thanks for coming in and talking. I'm gonna yap to myself again. And that's fine. But what's the next topic that I had ready before I got on a tangent? Because I'll get on a tangent. Like call me I said Geronimo. Call me geometry the way I get on a tangent. Um but I did. Next time I'll join when I'm not at work. As long as you being responsible at work, don't get caught. Hold on, I took a bite of food because I was hungry, and also I didn't eat before stream. I have a bad habit of that. If y'all consider it a bad habit, do y'all even hear me eat? Oh, now I got to hook up. Hold on, I ate too fast. Like I don't know if I'm really giving y'all them good ASMR sounds. Ooh, speaking of ASMR, before I switch to like official topics on my sticky note of the stuff I wanted to yap about, there's this ASMR VTuber, or I wouldn't call him an ASMR VTuber because he doesn't do streams. He does make audios, but that's more like a side thing. His name is Hiksu. I'm okay. I actually got into him through his audios, and I'm not gonna say what kind of audios they are. You're gonna have to figure it out. Um, because like my streams aren't really adult. Uh, hold on. I'm trying to think. Um, shit. Hold on. Okay, now I'm okay. Let's see how long this lasts until I keep talking. There's this Fox VTuber who kind of looks like an assassin, and he makes dirty audios, and that's as far as I'm gonna keep it because I like to keep my streams PG-13. But I got into him, and that's also why I'm not linking him because y'all need to know. Well, his streams are tame. It's just the side stuff that he be making, right? But he streams, and I've been into his streams lately because he be yapping and doing horror shit. And for those who don't know, I like horror stuff. Like I love a horror game, even though I really don't be playing them that much. Mm, she could- Okay, now I know how to do this. Um, I'm trying to think, but I like horror as a genre. I like horror movies, and I like watching gameplay of horror games because I don't think I could really play a horror game. At least not something that's like directly active and requires a lot of observation because me, I be getting tunnel vision with shit. But like it's funny because when it comes to spotting threats, I'm really good at that. I remember when me and my family were watching the Candyman movie, like the newest one in 2021 with Yahya Abdul Mateen. And whenever the killer would show up, like he would show up early. And I say the killer because Candyman is like a mantle in that movie. Because they did all of this. It's funny as hell. I accidentally merged the damn belts. It's fine. But I ended up spotting the mantle holder like Sherman before my mom and my sister did, and they would be like, "Shut up!" And I'm like, "Bitch, I'm telling y'all that it's right there, so you don't get scared." Last time I helped y'all, and what they do, they got scared. So now look at you, the scary and spooked out. I really need the vinyl for the soundtrack for Panty and Stocking because I really love um both the soundtrack for the first season and for the second season. Like I love the soundtrack for the second season so much that it ended up becoming like my most listened to album for my Spotify rewind. And then Sinners was second. And that's not too bananas for me. If y'all know about me, I really like music. Like I grew up in a musically inclined family because several family members of mine played instruments, and I grew up in band. So, and if y'all ever heard me talk a lot about soundtracks and music theory and shit, it's like whatever. See, I believe, I believe inside. But yeah, I love Penny and Stocking, sort of like so. Hey, Shattered, how's it going? I was talking about my love of music and how I really need the vinyl for the Panty and Stocking soundtrack because it's really good shit. And also, like, as somebody who's musically inclined, like, I can't say that I have a unique love of music because I don't want to sound pretentious. But, like, there are specific things that I look for in music that maybe the average person doesn't because their interest in music is mostly based in enjoyment, which is fine. But like versus somebody who has a music background, it's like you spot different things, if that makes any sense. But right now I'm finishing sketching out the stuff for Zivia's character sheet. I'm almost done because I'm doing the side view, and then after that, going good, had an interview to not begin on time, and which had me waiting for 2 hours, only for it to last 5 minutes, but it was good. I hope they give you some kind of consolation. They might as well give you the job because it shows that you had such patience and initiative that you were willing to stay that long so you could honor your agreement to be there. I feel like if a hirer shows up late, like hella late, and the interviewee, the person being interviewed, waits that damn long, they should just automatically get the job. Even if the job doesn't require waiting. It's your dedication and integrity. to show up and have patience for somebody who couldn't even give you the decency to be on time. They should give you a bonus on top of that, so you don't have to wait for extra money. Also, if you're wondering why there's random pauses, I'm not eating my food until now. Mm. But yeah, I'm drawing Zivia's character sheet, and I'm almost done. And then I can't even ink it until like after stream because um actually I might not draw the side view of the pouch. I think I got everything that was needed on the side though. Yeah, I think this is fine. Got a good stopping point at least for Zivia's work. Yeah, we are. So I guess what else? It's the fact that I have so many whips that I could just do just about anything. We're just switching from whip to whip, honestly. Let me think. I'm trying to think of like what's pressing and important right now. Let me save. Okay, this is save. Yang is save. I guess we could start on line art for Yang. Yeah, let's start on line art for Yang. Now I gotta think of what to talk about. Oh yeah, did you hear about the new Avatar: The Last Airbender movie? And like it's been out because folks were leaking it, but now it's a. I'm sorry. Pretty much the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie was like leaked, and but now it's officially got a trailer and stuff. My only issue with it, because I haven't even seen it. Like I've seen the leaks, I've been spoiled, but I haven't seen the whole thing, right? And my only issue is that they're same face syndrome. Like I wish that the faces were a lot more distinctive, especially when they were really distinctive in the OG show. Like I wonder what happened to like the different proportions, or I guess it was a different studio. But do better. Because if I made everybody bald in the same skin tone, like it was like the VTuber problem, or just anime in general because of the stateless style and stuff. How you can only tell people apart by hair and colors when it shouldn't really be that way. Like put some noses on these people. Draw a monolid. They're Asian. I don't know. Maybe I'm too picky, but I don't. I do like that Apparently, the characters are like in their mid 20s, and it's interesting what the premise is with Aang meeting past airbenders and like trying to cope with those experiences by telling them that no, I'm the last one, and they're like disappointed in him. 'Cause that's just daunting as hell, being like a victim of genocide, and then you meet one of your kind, like one of your folks, and then they're like, "Oh, how's the future?" And you gotta break the news to them, and it's just like, "No, I'm the only one here," and they're like, "Damn, just you?" And that would break my heart if I meet one of my past ancestors, and then they're like, "Damn, it's just you." Like my feelings would be hurt, and I would be roasting them because I'm like, "Bitch, what were you doing to prevent that?" Not shit. I just thank God I don't be participating in diaspora wars because they be ruthless recently, and I really don't need to participate in them because I would be a terrible person. And it's not because like I hold the actual beliefs, but like I'm the kind of person where it's just like fuck it, I want to win. So like when somebody tries to out petty me, I take it to hell. And also, diaspora wars are just generally stupid. Like there's no reason. Like I don't know why some diaspora folks and homeland folks be acting the way that they do when we all literally in the same boat right now when it comes to like white supremacy beating all of our asses. Is it like a reclamation that this is your way of trying to reclaim your humanity by shitting on the humanity of somebody else? Grow up, bro. I know there's been recent discourse concerning this new movie because of how Aang, quote unquote, looking hot now. He ain't hot to me because he's bald, but he's like big and muscular now, and that equals hot to some people, despite the other features. But no, Zutara fans are like legitimately mad that the creators intentionally made Aang hot because they're treating it as them trying to legitimize Zatang or Katang. And it's like weird to me because like I think they just made him hot because he's 25, so he can be hot, right? Because a lot of people like to forget that even though the characters in Avatar had a lot of responsibilities and was kicking a lot of ass and stuff, they were still children. But like nobody gives a fuck. No, I need Zutara fans to learn what Yume shipping is because some of the arguments that they come up with to try to convince people that Katara should be with Zuko just sounds like straight up cope. Like, oh, Katara is an eldest daughter who's been adultified, and even though the adultification thing is true, it wasn't by Aang. Like, Aang was the one who was helping her get her childhood back. And also for Katara to be an eldest daughter, that means that there has to be multiple daughters. She's literally the only one, and she's the baby. Like, y'all be coming up with bullshit lies to say that Aang doesn't deserve Katara because you personally wouldn't find a 12-year-old hot if you were 14. But the thing is, you're not Katara. And if this was about your preferences, why don't you just ship yourself with Zuko? Like, this just feels like advanced cuckolding. They're coming up with ways to project themselves onto Katara instead of just cutting out the middleman and trying to screw Zuko themselves. Learn what Yume shipping is. Stop lying about who Katara is because you wanted to fuck the colonizing firebender. You're 30. It's sad though. Like I know I keep saying you're 30 as like a gotcha and stuff because it sounds like I don't like 30-year-olds. I do like 30-year-olds. Most of my friends are. Shit's funny as hell. I don't dislike 30-year-olds. Most of my friends are in their 30s. A lot of my VTuber friends are actually in their 30s, especially the black ones. And I think I know why. Like black people don't have access to, I guess, socioeconomic problems. A lot of us don't have access to like. Hey, Graham, you are definitely not first. Also, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check and the stretch. Excuse me. I'm gonna drink water. Hold on. And then I'm gonna stretch for a minute. Let me save my canvas real quick. Spiritually first. Okay. But welcome to stream. Pretty much I'm doing line art because I'm getting caught up on a YouTube series that I was supposed to be finishing like eons ago, and it's been literally 3 years. Like I did a Ruby redesign series, but I didn't finish it because I stopped at Yang. And apparently Ruby is making a comeback, so I'm like, if Ruby can come back, then maybe I should come back to YouTube and start by finishing this damn series. We already finished sketching out Zivia's character shoot, like the outfit on there, because I already finished the mannequin. It's just that I can't line art it because she's naked under the sketch clothes, and I don't want to get like banned. Hold on, but I'm feeling better. I am a little bit tired, but like I want to at least get to like 10:30 maybe or 10 o'clock before I fully throw in the towel. Because I'm trying to get used to streaming again. I've been like an absentee father to y'all. I'm gonna try to stream like maybe 2 hour, 3 hours was too ambitious because I'm not used to that schedule again. But I want to at least stream once a week. So I came back with the milk, yes, because I would never leave for cigarettes. I don't smoke. That's one thing you can always count on. I may leave you for milk, but not for a cigarette. But now I was talking about the Avatar show release. But happy to see that you're slowly getting back into streaming. Yeah, because it's summer. So I should have more time. Well, it wasn't even time. It was just I'd be exhausted and shit. And like juggling that with school, it's like, eh. Now let's see. left arm. I've been streaming already since my GPU shot itself last time I streamed. But this is a good detox and break for me. That's good. So are you like getting it repaired or no? Cause like I remember before the VMAT gala, if you saw, I was struggling. Cause like my computer broke like literally weeks before. And I was just like, please paycheck, please come in before. I literally picked up my laptop the day before. Yeah, I was like freaking out. There was just so much shit going on because I had finals, and then I had to move dorms literally after the VMAT gala. Just so many things. But I'm glad that it's it's past. Now it's just maintaining momentum beyond that. Cause I don't want to be, I don't want to be those characters. I don't want to be those creators that like. I want to be like the fairgrounds, right? How they only get ready for the fair, and then after the fair, everybody just pack up and disappear after that. As much as I want to get my GPU repaired, I'd rather not deal with the same issue if it were to come back up. Are you gonna buy a new computer then? Like a PC or something? As much as I want to get my GPU repaired already. Oh. Oh no, it's not just the GPU that's that. Oh, it's multiple issues. Everything else is good. Ah. I just want to connect the two lines. Thank you. Everything else is good. That's fine. Well, that's good that everything else is good, and I hope that whatever you need fixed or replaced and stuff gets taken care of. Cause me, I live, eat, and breathe on my computer. I do need to like get back in the habit of saving my files on multiple stuff. Cause like, okay, on top of my computer not working, and that's fine because it got fixed, right? But now my other phone isn't working. Like it's something I can't even say it's battery related because I got the battery replaced only for still keep tweaking. Like I can't even turn it on. I can't access any of my files. And I have like so many pictures and shit on there. Almost halfway there on my Ko-Fi Go, so I'm hopeful and grateful to the people who donated and shared the link around. That's good. Especially stuff like mutual aid is so difficult, especially now these days. First, because of Elon fucking with the algorithms and shit, right? Because he hates people. But also because some folks could be just so damn hateful about it. Made me cry a little because I didn't expect the amount of support. That's awesome, though. It's great being surrounded by people who give a damn, you know? Forever grateful and thankful. Yeah. Oh, that looks like the purple heart. I'm so sorry to hear your other faux fuck. Yeah, I'm partially over it, but like I'm mourning because like so many reference pictures and stuff was on there. So now I'm like stuck using my sister's iPhone because I had a Samsung because I hate Apple products and I still do. I can't stand this Apple phone sometimes because I like how it constantly autocorrects me. In the US, the UI isn't as intuitive. My dad ended up getting me a new Samsung phone, so I just have to activate it. But I gotta make time to do that. There's a way to get it repaired, but money issue. Not quite. It's more like they don't know how to turn it on because even though it was a battery issue, because like the battery swelled up, even after like charging it and stuff, it just wouldn't turn on. It would like flash on with like that starting screen. Look at there, and then it'll shut back down. Like I don't even want to keep it right because it's obviously acting like a funky little shit. But um, I just needed to come on long enough for me to put on to like switch out my files. And I don't know, that just annoys the shit out of me. So I hope I can at least like I don't know sell it for scrap. Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna finish this robot arm and then I might go to bed. I was gonna do 3 hours, but I'm not gonna make it because I'm eepy and I still haven't finished eating. Like I barely tore up my plate. I got like shrimp and wings. Or knowing how my patience is, it might end up turning into the damn uh, to just the outline of the robot arm. Because honestly, the ads are almost here, and I don't want y'all to get caught up while I'm trying to say goodbye. Or actually, no, I could dismiss for like another 5 minutes if it shows up while I'm doing the farewell. So long, farewell. Afita saying goodbye. But I did this outline real quick. Once I'm home, probably eat whatever and just knock out unless I don't know. I hop in a call. Ew, can I not snooze? Okay, so let me finish this outline real quick. and then save, and then we're gonna go to chat. Or I don't know why I can't snooze. So like it won't let me snooze. Or maybe when it actually starts. Oh no. So the ads still got y'all anyway. So I'll wait until the ads are over. Mm. Mm. Okay. Let me know when the ad stops. Because I forget that these things be like 5 minutes. And then I'll like dismiss y'all. But yeah, I'm really pissed about the phone troubles. Because I literally needed on long enough just to transfer all the info that I want. That's all I want. And then I need to get good about like what's the word? About organizing my files and stuff anyway. Because it's a hot mess. And I honestly should be doing better. Hope you can find someone who can help you. Thank you. I hope so too. Cause like I at least want my camera memories and stuff. Thanks. You're like throwing your hands in the air for a spirit bomb. I should probably have a butt shaking emote. I need to make new emotes for myself. I got like a stream anniversary. Well, not a stream anniversary, but like an affiliate anniversary in a couple of months. Maybe I'll do something small. I'll do something small for now, not like something too huge. Because with all the stuff that I'm doing for like my soft rebrand, which is literally just updated graphics and shit, I probably won't have it done by then anyway. So it won't be like mega huge. But it's just like I'll do like a simple stream or I'll like play with the audience to do something or whatever. Like I might get into rivals long beforehand so I could like play marbles with the chat. It's like they added Jubilee. Even though she low key looks a hot mess. I don't like how she's designed. Like why she got a similar face to Luna Snow. And folks are like, y'all just saying that because they're Asian, and I'm like, no, I'm saying that because they look like they got the same fucking face. Because there are other Asian characters in there like Penny and what's the name of Psylocke? Like what's her Japanese name? Because I know she used to have a white woman in her until they changed the lore because they realized that shit was fucking racist. Nah, because it's just like it's why I can barely stand the X Men now. Besides, like the fucking Zionist propaganda and shit that they be got having, they be doing some weird shit with race, like having Kitty White Pride say the N word like 3 different times. It was bananas. Don't you stop them, baby? Don't you dare. Okay, we gonna stop it here because I'm low key tired. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. It was a nice, quaint time that we all had together. Yeah, I enjoyed hanging out with y'all. It was nice yapping about random stuff and consider this the start of a bunch of good things because that piece that I was just line earning, it's showing me going back to foundation as a content creator. But until we meet again, y'all have a good evening. Stay above the water.